Alright, guys, I am back. Let's go. It's Saturday morning. Well, it's lunchtime, whatever. Hold on, let me put up, hold on one second. Alright, that was me. Let's pop up some chat. Just in case some hot topic ensue in this discussion. Okay, so there we go. Hopefully I am on. Okay, let me see the feel of you real quick. There we go. All right. Let's go. Okay, so today is the day. Happy Saturday. Hi, Sharon. Thank you for joining. How are we doing today? Today morning. I hope you have a good weekend so far. Got my coffee. Not sure how long I'm gonna be here for. We'll see. I'm feeling good today. Well, not really, but a little bit better. I've been like sniffling and I don't know. I don't have a cold or anything, but in California right now, there's a lot of fire that is happening. So I feel like the air quality is like really bad right now. But thank goodness I'm safe and sound for now. We'll see. Like I don't know how like things are happening this way. Like ever since the LA fire, I feel like there's a lot more fires just sprouting out of nowhere in the middle of winter. It's like, what is going on? You know, it's chilly out, but good. Okay, good. I appreciate that. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, not much going on for today. Of course, like I am kind of looking into the crypto market and all that stuff too. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. Of course, the main point of this show is to kind of speculate a little bit here, right? It's still speculation, but I think it's grounded in a little bit of facts as well. NFT marketplace has always been my it's always been my thought that deregulation or regulation was in the way of the NFT marketplace, and so we'll talk about that in a little bit more. I'm kind of waiting for a few people to join in more, but I'll start in a minute here. But yes, let's look at the price action here. Of course, this is what people, have a hub about. Hub. I don't even know how to say that phrase, but huff and puff, maybe that's the better word to say it. Anyway, so let's look at the price action. Obviously, this is a 4 hours candle, and it is logarithmic chart. We're still trying to have that uptrend moving up, but now, of course, people are predicting that it's coming down a little bit here, which I kind of agree in the short term. And again, depends on who you are. If you are a trader, you probably want to sell over here and then try to catch it at the bottom, right? But my fear is that you won't ever going to catch it at the bottom. So let's say you put $10,000 at this price, right? And you're like, okay, let me sell all of my position here and then try to catch over here. Would you go all in $10,000? I doubt it. I doubt that anyone would just like, have that conviction to get at here. Because again, your psychology is that, oh, what if it's going down further? So again, if you could catch it before it rips to the other side, good on you. But, because of psychology, because people get cold feet, they are less likely to do it. How do I know that? I do that all the time on other security. Bitcoin, on XRP, XLM, anything that I trade or whatever, or invest in the long term. At some point in time, you're going to be like, oh, should I sell? Right? And every time I sell, I feel like, oh, shoot, I should have held. So again, that's why it's like psychologically it plays with you, the price action. And again, this is why I have my own strategy here. I have my long-term bag. No matter what, I'm gonna hold that for a long term. Okay, it's really important to keep kind of honing on that, because again, people when people predict the price and all that stuff, they keep seeing all of this, and people are coming new to this, right? Who are trying to establish any position into this company. They usually talk or at least conflate the two, the price action versus what the company is actually doing. And so it defeat the purpose of people trying to think of it as a fundamental play, right? Because then they get bashed on the price points. Like, well, you said the company is doing well, why the price is down? It's like, well, I don't know. I mean, that's the market right now. At the moment in time, I could buy GameStop at $27. I mean, that's the market price, right? That's the price that I'm seeing. So there you go. If it comes down, does that mean the balance sheets of the companies is bad? Of course not. Like, nothing changed, you guys. Like, can people need to chill sometimes. Like, but again, the same way, right? Look at this. When Jimmy was trading over here at $10, did the fundamental of the company change from here to here? When it rocketed up to $80? No. These are traders. These are volatility trader. These are momentum chaser. Okay? And again, the company didn't do any amazingly. But because of the option chain and people are betting up, people become more enthusiastic or pessimistic. That's what you see, the price action here. Right now, the volume is dry. And so you could postulate, okay, why is the volume dry? Maybe, there's no more people paying attention to it. This is the opportunity. Usually this is why you buy into something, right? Or sell. I mean, if you want to sell, sell. It's pretty simple. If you think it's going to come down over here and you could catch it at the bottom, good on you, right? I mean, it doesn't do anything to my portfolio, right? It doesn't affect whether I hold this company for a long term or not, right? That's my own prerogative. And so, and again, like I bring that point home all the time, because the discussion usually about this company is about the price action. Not enough about, what the actual company is doing. And any good development about the company is skewed by the price action all the time. And again, this is why, again, I usually train myself to buy endo red, buy the dip. I don't care how long it's going to dip for, as long as I have a price point in mind and accumulating under that price point. I mean, because again, I don't know how far it's going to dip. So if I buy over here and it comes back down to $18 a share, guess what? I'll buy more and wait. Right? Because if I think that it's good at this price level, or good at this price level, why wouldn't I buy more here? Why wouldn't I buy more here? Think of it as a great discount of some sort. And on top of that, you have a great equity into the company, the lower the price get. It's pretty simple. I don't understand why people Hey, what's up, Amber? Thank you for joining. But yeah, and again, training psychology is always like that. So you need to have your emotion in check if you want to establish, some sort of peace in this company. I truly think that the people that are, making the most benefit from this investment is the people that are thinking about it long term, and then also to consistently in their adding. Again, Moran's is doing it every day. You could do it every week. You could do it every month. You could do it every 6 months or every 3 months. As long as you're consistently adding to your position, you're going to do fine in this company. Again, because the price point is just way too crazy, you guys. I mean, for people who are trying to time it just the right time, just like Rowan Kitty, you require a lot more research. If you could do that, amazing. Look how much Rowan Kitty already accumulating in wealth, right? And this is the dream of day traders out there. And in order to get that, you need a lot more knowledge. And people just think that, they could just get rich in a day, 2 days, 3 days, in a week because of call options. And then on top of that, people who, didn't know anything about this company, expecting in a short-term gain, but then when the company when the price action doesn't, give them that, they kicking and screaming like a little baby. So, the company is shit. It's like, okay, all right, well, why did you buy into it? Did you buy into it because of Rowan Kitty, or did you buy into it because of Ryan Cohen? So those are the two camps, right? And so as an investor, you need to understand that too. Like long-term investor, okay, your stock is moving because of these two, forces. And again, not necessarily it's bad or good or anything like that. Well, it depends on who you are subscribed to. For me, I bought into it because of Ryan Cohen. Yes, Rowan Kitty, I admire him because, again, he's knowledgeable about the stock and he's able to at least gain fame and notoriety because, for the wrong reason, in my opinion, because the media has placed him into that, gambler type things. But, my opinion on Rowan Kitty is much more because of his knowledge, right? Of the stock, of the, option chain and all that stuff. Combined, technical analysis combined. He's not just a deep value investor, but also he seems to be more knowledgeable about, the time period, the settlement system and all that stuff too. So if you want to mimic him, you need 8 years worth of knowledge, under your belt in order to, predict the right moves, or at least, and have the guts too, right? To bet that big in order to get to that level. Again, and as retail investor, you oh man, I think when people are getting into this company, they have an idea in their mind that you're gonna be rich, right? And without thinking about the time horizon, nothing. And it's very frustrating to me, right? Because when I talk to people, that's usually what I met with is what the social media influencer, and then I get grouped in that, and then that group as well. Yes, yeah, sure, I'm guilty of it too, right? Because I'm so optimistic about this company's future, and I think they could do much better than it is today. But I gave them more time than these people have ever given them to. And again, that's why I spend so much time talking about the trading psychology as well, because I want people to realize, the price action fluctuation day to day doesn't amount to anything if your time horizon is a lot bigger, 10 years, decades. Warren Buffett, right? Way of investing, and reputation too. I mean, again, I did a video about reputation, how it takes 20 years to develop a reputation, good reputation. So it might as well, GameStop might need that time, 20 years. It's like, and when people hear about 20 years, they're like, oh man, So if you're not willing to wait for that valuation for Jimmy to grow into that massive company, then yeah, that's the opportunity loss, because you're not sticking with the company for the long term. But if you're saying to yourself, well, I could have put that money to work elsewhere, okay, if you know what to do with that money in this particular time, sell. The opportunity cost or opportunity, whatever that term is to get you to jump into something else that is momentum driven. So if you jump into something that has lost its momentum, you're going to lose too, right? So that's why I don't chase momentum. I used to. I don't do it out anymore because I'm not good at it. So that's why I stick with what I know best, which is GameStop. Just so happened to be the best company that I know from my own personal limited understanding of the stock market, right? And so in my opinion, the company is doing well. So if the balance sheets keep showing me good things, why wouldn't I continue to add more? Simple, right? And if the price coming down, cheaper for me, better for me, because now I could accumulate even more shares. That's it, right? The fear is that Ryan Cohen doesn't tell me about the plan. Okay, well, I could postulate that, right? I have a brain to think about what the future might hold. I might be wrong about the price at that level. So how can you evaluate that? You can't. I don't care how many people think that they know what the price go. Even like Moran just did a video about $100 a share. Even that price, I don't even know. At what price point? It could be $1,000. I mean, think about this. Man, crazy, right? Look, in like it could just turn in a dime because people's sentiment, right? Because suddenly you have an influx of people just joining in like crazy. Millions of bets, millions of dollars, billions of dollars placed on the call option, right? And it only takes that instant. And this is what people see usually. It's like, oh, so it doesn't hold its value. Well, duh, because it's been suppressed. When you suppress something that long, what do you think is going to happen? Any volume that comes into this company, look, even Friday, what, 4 point something million shares being traded? And you're telling me like people are selling, right? Yeah, I mean, people did sell, but only 3 million shares being traded back and forth. You realize what 3 million shares is? That's less than 1% of a float. So the 99.9% of volume was still there. So, take with that as you will, Now, if people are really selling, the volume would have been a lot higher. That's my contention, right? Hold on. Sorry, you guys. Hi, Manuel. Thank you for joining. Asa, thank you. Hello. Okay, so volume profile. Let's see. Yeah, so you look at how volume, and look, this is buys, right? And that's why you see that that candle over here. But again, even then, It's non-existent. Usually when volume is low, right? Anytime you see volumes low, okay, low volume right here, low volume sell, what happened? Capitulation, right? Reversal of some sort, okay? Now, if you look at this indicator over here, right, Bankers Fund trajectory of index, you see a lot of buy order. I mean, a buy signal. Nobody is selling in terms of 4 hours, but you have to zoom in a little bit here. All right, so now you see sells signal over here. Okay, but again, how many sells? I mean, look, 3 million shares in a day, right? Let's see, when Rowan Kitty tweet that day, a couple of days ago, right here. What is that? 8 million shares, 8.8 million shares traded that day. And then 4.5 million shares traded on Friday. I mean, so take with that as you will. I mean, you could say, oh, well, his influence now is diminishing by the hours. Like, okay, you could have that thoughts if that's what you want. And of course, like the technical analysis people would say, well, if the trend line is breaking right here, it's going to come down in the short term, right? So again, yeah, you have to combine that knowledge, and then as an investor, you know which one, what price you want to wait for, right? In terms of when to add more. So at this level right here, daily, and it seems like anytime it hits this bottom, it's a good buy. That doesn't mean it doesn't come back down. You see what? Look. Over here, buys, right? And of course, if you sell over here, but again, there's no selling signal. So again, short-term traders would look at this and kind of like buying, selling, right? See, this is a 1 hours candle. You see a buy order there, or buy signal. Yeah, lots of buys. Look, buy. Not many sells. Yeah. A continuation of some sort, but if you zoom a little bit further, you could see, depends on the time frame. So a large swing traders, they would look into like the weeklies, right? There you go. So if you buy here and then wait and then sell here, there you go. So that's what the institutions are doing. And so, yeah, I mean, just to be aware that mostly institutions are not in this company yet. Okay. There you go. So 28%. So you could say that the volatility comes from retail investor or retail traders. People are trading in and out of these things. And so it depends on who you are, right? You're going to, feel some sort of way. Like I said, if you invested based on Rowan Kitty, in my opinion, you are in here just for the short term price action for this company. If you're here because of Ryan Cohen, then, you're going to more likely to be here for the long term. Simple, right? So yeah, pick your poison. If you want to feel antsy all the time, when should I sell? When should I buy? Then okay, go with Rowan Kitty route. And then, if you are more like, okay, business oriented, growing, slow, reputation based, building for the decades on end, and put money away, into the company that you believe in the future, then it's less stressful, you know? Take out that stress from you. So, but anyway, so I had some discussion last night, so that's why that was like a residual thoughts of mine that comes. Hi, Jesus, what's up? How are you doing today? Okay, let's see. All right, that was my rant just now, and so let's take a look at the IV real quick. I know, like I'm like a trader over here, but so I still have some call option. That's why I shaved some already when Roy and Kitty tweet on Thursday, and capture some profit, a little bit of profit, but then I still have some more left. So I want to kind of trim some of the risk in the call option side. Right now I have still 5 contract left on the 35 for February. April. So, and again, I'm not, a long-term hold on call option at all. So anytime I see some profit or a little bit loss, cutting a loss, I have to cut my loss, right? So again, because contract decay in value so quickly. So if you're not too quick on the trigger pulling, you're not going to be able to, reserve your capital to for the future. And again, this is why it's so risky. When people are telling you, "Oh, my put is printing," right? It depends. It could go against you too. Congratulations if you are able to kind of predict the downside. And again, that's the battle. The institutions are doing the same thing too. That people are betting up and down. Institution trying to blow each other out of their position. And if another institution are not careful about hedging, you're gonna leave your traces everywhere. And so I think this is where Rowan Kitty, is able to see those things and kind of take advantage of that, those large orders, coming in. And so, as a retail investor, unless you have all the tools to, do all those things, it's a little bit, challenging for a regular retail investor to, profit off of the trading in and out, right? So, and again, like Peter Lynch said the same thing too, is that you cannot beat the algorithm he didn't mention algorithm, but you cannot beat the institutional investor if you think the same way as they do, right? The only way to do that is to think of it as a long term and not, ignore the noise, all the news and all that stuff about the company, and then understand the company from the fundamental side of things. And have the conviction too, right? To either sell out of your position if things is going against you on the fundamental side. Because let's say if I see Gamestop, leadership spending money willy-nilly, that doesn't amount to anything, and what sector are they getting into? All of that stuff, like NFT, for example. Are they trying to do that for the future, or they're just there to pad up somebody's pocket, right? Like Adam Aaron, for example, like Highcroft Mining, allegedly, right? They invest in Highcroft Mining that doesn't mine any gold. That's crazy. All right, good. Twitter said, "Gamma squeeze. It's gonna squeeze. We're gonna squeeze. Okay, cool. All right. Well, I wouldn't be mad at that at all. Would not be mad at that. That's okay. But again, I'm taming my expectation. Of course, I'm bullish on this company always, but also too, I want to be careful. Kind of come on here because again, as small as my channel is, I could have some influence, on people too. And I realized that, because I get people close to me who hold these stocks and, getting a little bit frustrated because the price action doesn't do um doesn't amount to anything at the moment, right? Of course. The discussion was that it's a waste of time. I'm like, what do you mean it's a waste of time? And so that's why I'm very like tame to say, okay, let me present this both sides of the story here. And since I love to talk about GameStop, it seems like I'm obsessed with this company, right? And I think people misunderstand sometimes with passion, with passion about anything. Just like, right? Okay. Ryan Cohen has passion, right? And I love people like that. People who have passion and who trying to do something different than other people have been doing. Look at the executive in the market right now. They're all just pandering. We could make trillions of dollars from this AI infrastructure. Really? Can you? Like giving big promises, right? Meanwhile, you have people who are actually doing the work, and showing your result. And then, it's only $2 million. That's nothing. Well, don't people realize how much, how many years to turn around a company, and the effort that has to go into that in order to turn around a company fundamentally? You can't just snap your finger and have it done, you guys, right? And so I love people like that, people who are actually doing the work, and not just like, boasting on how much they get or they're able to achieve. It's like, okay, show me your result. Great. Okay, yes, you've been working this hard. I love people like that. I respect them a lot. And again, that's why, people like Adam Aaron, who just going to speak. I was like watching the Heist of the Century. I think Because I Can was the one who, I still have a lot to kind of finish, but I kind of finished the majority of it. But yeah, like stuff like that. You have CEOs like this who actively going out to trying to mislead. Now, in his defense, of course, like he's there to, in his mind, save the company, right? And talking to his investor base, which is retail. But it's important too what they do behind closed door, and so if Ryan Cohen come out here and just saying, "Oh, GME to the moon," right? I don't think anyone would respect that. I wouldn't respect him either, right? So again, I avoid people like this. Even people in my personal life too. If people just go out there and just like all talks and no action, like I don't like people like that at all. But anyway, so that's just my whole. Like some CEO deserve much more credit than others. But for some reason, the news media, all the glitz and glams and all of the fame that they're able to generate, because they're on TV, because they're invested, or elevated in some sort, like Sam Bankman-Fried, type of people who was elevated by these news network, And so that's giving them more authority or more clout for people to chase. Like, oh my God, he's the youngest billionaire. It's like, okay, how did they get that money to be a billionaire? So people don't realize, like, that these people are scams sometimes until it's too late for them already. Then the damage is already done. While people like Ryan Cohen is being demonized. For what? For being a meme lord. What? He's a meme king or whatever the documentary is saying. Oh, he's the cult leader. It's like, what? So if people don't realize the psychology or a psychological attack on every front, you know, on GameStop itself, they would think that I'm crazy to even pointing that out, right? So that's the passion that I have, is that I want the truth. Give me the truth. That's it. I want the truth. And so, because people are not willing to give me the truth, I have to go and seek it out for myself. So I implore anyone, please, like anytime you get into something, you know, and even the crypto space too, there's a lot of scam out there. So you have to be careful, you guys. But just because there's a lot of scam in the crypto space, it doesn't mean that crypto in and of itself is a scam. There is value in those technology. Go look for those. You know, I see a lot of tactic too that is the same exact thing that is used to condemn GME and used to sway, you know, people from investing in a good, sound company or sound project, crypto or whatever, and steer people into meme coins. And then when people lose money, they use that as an excuse to be like, oh, crypto is a scam. Look, people lost money. Okay? And then people are not even looking into when when I tell people buy Bitcoin, right? It's like, oh, it's all a scam. I'm like, okay, all right. It's okay. In due time, you would know that it may not be a scam, right? It may be a contender for gold, digital gold, because more and more people now are adopting it. And so if more people are adopting it and you know, agreeing with you, currently, not many people are agreeing with you that GME is something, right? Same thing as Bitcoin. 10 years ago, nobody agreed that Bitcoin was a store of value. And then little by little, you win hearts and minds of people. It's like, oh yeah, you have a point here. And then, yeah, more people join in, right? Because they see, oh shit, if Bitcoin was $1 20 years ago, now it's $100,000, right? And then by the time when people are joining it, it's $1 million. It's like, oh, it would never go to 10 million. Okay, well, we'll see. Give it 10 more years and see what happens. So it's about people, you know, again, adaptation. It takes some time to convince people to get into a good, sound company. It takes a little bit of time, a little bit of education to convince people that at certain things, it can have some value. But anyway, so. And because it can, what's up? Yeah, so I was watching the Heist of the Century. So I still have a little bit more. I don't know if you just joined. But anyway, so my rant is just all over the place, you guys. I don't know. I need some coherent thoughts over here. But let me just calm down a little bit. It's frustrating to me when people are not kind of have the information and then they're just really nearly saying a statement. It's like, oh, and then I just have a friend who share a video about DJT. Somebody put their life saving in calls of DJT, and the title was Trump voter lost $1 million. Trump voter. So what is that psychologically? It's like, what does Trump has to do with this? Or just because you support Trump, you're losing money, and then this is the video that they use to demonize Trump. Oh, he should have known better. Like, well, this guy bet on the call option of the JT $1 million short-term call to, right? Thinking that the election is going to bring DJT to $40 a share. And he's going to make gazillions of dollars from that call option. He was so convicted. But then when it doesn't go to $40, he loses everything. And then the headline is Trump voter lose $1 million. So psychologically, of course, if you don't like Trump, right, you're going to be like, ha ha ha. Right? If you follow them, like, there you go. And then CNBC did this. Okay. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. You know what? I'll talk about that later. It's about crypto, but it's a manipulative tactic. I could just do a short form video on that. But again, that's the similarity that I see that is happening right now. Now, the executive orders has been kind of placed already, crypto reserve and all that stuff. I'm not sure if you guys heard of that. And to me, that's a good thing for GME as well. And I think, the NFT marketplace is coming back. I've always thought about that. Like, go back to my older videos. Even when they were shutting down, I always have that thought. Regulation was in the way. And so with the crypto czar, is that the David Sack or whatever, his statement was that the collector, meme coins are collectibles. They're not security. So what do you think is going to happen when that is more solidified and become the law of the land? Okay, so now GME, Gamestop has the clarity, to do business making collectibles item. Okay, so how many people would rush to buy those tokens? Don't you think? Do you think? A lot. With the Pokemon and all that stuff getting involved, with the PSA that is getting involved right now, you think they're not going to product fit the collectible items? We're collectible, capital of the world, huh? Well, hoping anyway, right? Again, the the optimistic nature of me thinking the future of GameStop is so bright, and it is truly that bright, you guys. I know that this company could do much, 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 much better than it is today. But I know that currently people are just going to focus on this. The price doesn't mean anything at the moment, really, So again, this March is what I'm focusing on, because again, unless GME could show people 2 + 2 = 4, people are not going to do the math. They just see 2 + 2, and then it's like, well, I don't see a 4. Okay, just wait until March. You'll see a 4 there. And I don't understand this psychology of traders. Like, okay, oh, you gotta sell now. It's like, okay, sell it. If you want to sell it. It's okay. You'll come back anyway. Because when you come back, it's $100, and then it's like, okay, we told you, it's okay. Yeah. And so that's why I don't mind when people is like, buying and selling. That's what create that, look, that's what create this stupid price action that makes no sense, right? Because people are deciding, okay, which one should I bet? Okay, should I bet it down or should I bet it up? Okay, and then when most people are freaking out, betting it down, it's like, oh, I should have go higher, and then they bet it up again. And so they end up losing money left and right by doing those transactions. with that psychology, that's why they get exploited. That's why they lose money and all that stuff, and not getting the full picture of things at all. The documentary had Tim Moran's calling out AMC. Yeah, I saw that. Few YouTubers say AMC unprofitable and had so much debt. Yeah, of course. And other facts is Tony De Niro. Yep. Noisy Corax and say the 90+ page documentary of Abe. For Abe. Not worth reading. And Abe's AM. They're supporting Abe, causing many people losing money. Yep. So March 23rd of May 2023 is the video. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's Tony did with. Yeah, I know that those people are planned. Because like they are attacking Morans for for everything. I feel like. And again, this is why I think Morans is the real one. That's what clued me in. It's like, yeah, this guy is a real, person. He's not here to mislead people or anything. He's just giving his true opinion, And thank goodness I resonate with Moran's right off the bat, because otherwise I would have fallen into the same prey, AMC and all that stuff. And I did. Not honestly, I did. Like with Bath and Beyond as well. The same whole narrative was like when I think of any company based on hype and all that stuff. That's what is dangerous too. No thought on that. Polkadot, I don't have any Polkadot, you guys. I don't have any Pepe. Sushi Swap, I'm sure there's a platform where you could swap tokens from different token to another one. I don't have those. So currently I just am focusing on a utility-based coin that I think is going to be used in the real world situation here. Now, in the whole crypto, the crypto deregulation is coming. And so that's why I looked into it. And currently, just XRP and XLM for me. That's the one that I'm focusing on building more crypto again, or more tokens on that. And the reason being is that, I've been tracking. Let me talk about crypto real quick, you guys. Sorry. GME fan out there. And of course, this is just straight up my opinion. Of course, I had some experience in crypto, and so that's why, I'm talking about it. It's my own opinion. Please don't make any trades and all that stuff. So let's talk about XRP real quick. So I've been tracking this total supplies for a while. And if you look at my, a couple of days ago when I did a video, this number was a lot higher. Okay. And so I have a spreadsheet here that I've been kind of tracking since the launch of RLUSD. Okay. And the misconception about XRP is that, it doesn't compete with Bitcoin. Now, I'm not going to go into that discussion because it's going to take like hours. Okay. The whole gist of Bitcoin is that it's a proof of work. Okay. You put a blockchain, you have miners that are competing to put those blocks on the chain. And so every time they get the ability to validate the chain, they get some Bitcoin out of it. So the tokenomics is a little bit different. With XRP, every single coin, it's already been created. So there's no energy, being used to mine those Bitcoin. So that's, again, the point of sale, right? The problem with that is that, it's the token has to be distributed. And so whoever got the most token, and it just so happened to be the creator, right? So, on the early days, you could get free XRP everywhere. Of course, they're trying to distribute it so that, they could test it out and all that stuff. So that's the early day. I wish I was in the early day in which you could get free XRP. But again, as time goes on, people just didn't appreciate XRP being, in the crypto space. And so that's when you hear about, oh, it's shit coin. This coin doesn't do much because it's been created already, being distributed and all that stuff. So I'm not going to go into that, discussion here. But currently, XRP has been kind of like have a network of banks that are trying to get this. That's kind of scary. But that's neither here nor there. If it has some value in it, I don't see why not. People kind of you have to separate the early days of creations and all that stuff, but focusing on this decentralization of this chain right here. So the discussion is that, well, Bitcoin, you have to. The people are incentivized to make the network stronger by competing for Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin goes down, the network, then the miner is going to be suffering too. So there's a symbiotic relationship between the people that are buying into Bitcoin versus the miners, because they have the economic incentive, to mine Bitcoin, because the more Bitcoin they have, the more wealth they have, right? And so that's the whole point. And the people that have Bitcoin, holding or whatever, they, were able to store their wealth on that blockchain. And so they would want the miners, to keep the network secure. While XRP, of course, they have nodes and all that stuff, permission based in the early days. Of course, right now they're becoming more and more decentralized as people, there's no incentive to create nodes for XRP ledger. And they have a mechanism of validating, the ledger. And that was the controversial nature of the chain at the time. And again, this is again, if you want to research it, do your own research. But let me cut it short by saying, in the current moment in time, you have a digital asset. And with this deregulation, with the lawsuit and all that stuff, you could be sure that this is not a security. And so the value created from this chain alone is the fact that it is deflationary. So this number right here is what I kind of track. So far in 39 days from the creation of RLUSD, okay, you have a lot of XRP being burnt already. So this is 271,000 so far is being burnt in this amount of time. Now, what I'm hoping to do is to try to figure out how long will it take for XRP to deplete this total right here, right? How long will it take for XRP to burn most of its tokens due to the, the network being used? So the more XRP ledger being used in the real world transaction, the more XRP will be burnt. So eventually it's not going to be this anymore. Rather, it's going to be 100 million being burned every 30 days. Again, depends, right? Depends. So that's what I'm trying to see. How long will it take and how many is being burned? So, and again, this is why I'm only accumulating into XRP because of that. And I know the use case for this is a lot. It's more to do with the utility, much more than Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a store of value, and it's going to be like that for decades to come, right? Depends on how many people buying into the network and believe in the Bitcoin as a store of value, decentralization of things. And then XRP as well, so the ledger itself is going to bring more developer. Larry, BlackRock CEO, Larry Fink, already, kind of alluded to the fact that if the US or whoever is authorized to tokenize security, that would be the value created from here. And again, depends on which chain they're going to use. And I think XRP is kind of the biggest contender in that because, again, it's a lot faster than any, and well tested, in my opinion, right? Because it's existed 30, 40, no, I'm sorry, 30, 40. It existed as long as Bitcoin have. I think about 7 years apart. And so, you could say that it's the biggest chain that is going to be used in the real world. Not to say that any other coins won't be exceeding, the price, in terms of percentage, because if you have a small cap of anything, it could explode to $100 times its value. But I'm looking for coins that I could hold for 10 years or more, and continue to hold. And of course, time is tested that Bitcoin, XRP, hopefully XRP, right? Ethereum and all that stuff has some store of value because you need those tokens in order to do something with the real world. So the tokenization is very excited for that as well because if they were to use XRP Ledger to do all the tokenization of stocks, bonds, and all that stuff, that's going to bring more and more people interacting with the token. Yeah. So again, I'm speculating that they're gonna use XRP for sure. How sure am I? Do your own research. You could say that I'm just wishful thinking here. Okay. So, and then XLM, because it's kind of doing the same thing as XRP. With a different, flair. Of course, this is more like a non-profit, and it's more in line with, small business and all that stuff. So I think it has some value here. Again, early adopter. I'm trying to be early into this bull run, right? Because deregulation kind of spars some interest of the whole world trying to build on this ecosystem here. But yes, still be careful, right? There's a lot of meme coins out there that are proponents to be, this is going to be the biggest thing. Just be careful. Don't trust anyone except yourself if you want to get into something like that. Very risky. Anyway, that was a long drawn out one. Sorry about that. Abe was found by, Citibank. Nice to have XRP. I've been waiting to buy some of that, but my AI is predicting that it has top out of the nearest. Okay, cool. I see a lot of people using AI to invest and all that stuff. To me, you have to be smarter than AI. I shouldn't say that because people are going to trust AI with their life. And usually those are already old news. And so you have to be a contrarian sometime. Because again, how many people would use AI right now? There's a lot. And when you have a group mind thinking and all that stuff, and who recommending them, you think? Who, the coders that are coding those AI, AI is only as good as the coder. Okay. So that's a rule of thumb. So if they are coding something for you to use, for the masses to use, it might be misleading. So that's just my cautionary thing, that I wouldn't use AI to give me any, reason to invest into something, right? Or to buy or sell or whatever, just trying to create the profit, because they could mislead you too, the whole masses. So, yeah, I think you have to have the ability to analyze those two, right? I mean, AI is a tool, so if you could use it to kind of sort out data and all that stuff, yeah, sure, it could be useful. Quickly sorted out data in the web, yeah. But to trust it with your life, livelihoods and all that stuff, I would be cautious people to do that. My prediction isn't perfect though. Okay, cool. Supermicron is a fourth largest, of Bitcoin. Is it? Okay. I mean, then they'll be the wealthiest, Look, if they are dumping those Bitcoin into the market, it's gonna distribute it, to retail or whatever. Whoever wants to hold Bitcoin as a store of value. I understand, like, yes, there are people gonna hold a whole bunch of Bitcoin, but again, I mean, it could be an experiment too, right? It's been an experiment for 20 years already. And, in my opinion, if you accumulated Bitcoin, since its inception, you would be well off, right? In my opinion, right? Because if the government of the world keep printing money, what are you going to store your wealth in? Gold hasn't done much. Like I said, gold and other precious metal, you need space to store. And so to say that billionaires are not going to store their value into Bitcoin is a bit, I think, short-sighted way of thinking about things. Of course, they're going to place their wealth in something. They're going to diversify it. And the BlackRock, president or whatever, and these are like highly influential people, you guys. Like, if they say something, it kind of go. In this next 4 years, I'm sure the wealth advisor and people who are, advising people now can get into Bitcoin or can get into crypto. Even banks now, because of the deregulation, they're able to custody Bitcoin for people. And so more and more people are going to at least feel more comfortable if the banks are at least offering that service to people. And so to say that that's not going to affect the Bitcoin price in the near term, in these 4 years of, deregulation in that space, it's a bit naive in my opinion. Not to say that, there's some problem in Bitcoin network as well. If, supermicrocomputer is the fourth largest, okay. So I guess that's that's the wealth that they are able to build. And perhaps this is why, the price of the stock went crazy, right? Because, it's a traditional way of looking at things, just like how we have cash right now. The more people who have, the more the company who have Bitcoin will evaluate based on the price of Bitcoin there. So again, that's why I see people, advocating for GME to hold Bitcoin, And either way, I feel like we're going to benefit from it anyway. Doesn't matter what GME does in the near future. Leadership's going to do the best they can to increase shareholder equity. And so I think, people just want it now because they see that, Michael Saylor did it. And so why don't they do it? And then they see the price going crazy. And they really want that volatility, right? They really want to happen today. And to me, again, whether they do that or not, it still doesn't change my conviction, in GameStop. I hear people say too, like if I think Corey Candle said that it's like if GME goes to Bitcoin, I'm going to sell the shares. Like, okay, well, yes, people have that strong of opinion, and they don't really think about, okay, what is the benefit from going into Bitcoin, right? Now GME is setting up for to do both. Like, they don't even need to buy Bitcoin, you guys. All they have to do is just create the NFT marketplace and accept Bitcoin or accept any currency, not just Ethereum, not just anything, or RLUSD or whatever, right? To build that railwork or rail for people to pick and choose which currency they want to use to buy into your, NFT. And so technically they could accept Bitcoin by buying into those, NFT that is on their platform. And they did that pretty well too. But again, it's a concept, right? Can they do it? I think if they are able to kind of make it accessible to people, make it easy for people to, buy Bitcoin or sell Bitcoin and all that stuff, that's probably more valuable. And in the meantime, again, they don't even need to hold Bitcoin, you guys. All they have to do is just be the middleman, for that transaction. That in and of itself is already massively, profitable. I mean, look at the real world, what we're doing with the PSA right now. We're actually the middleman. We're buying and selling goods and services to people that people wants to have, right? So, the possibility is endless, and people are just like so narrow-minded right now because of the price action. Yeah, crazy. I find it funny that each red day of GME for the last 4 months, what is this? QAS is the top gain. Okay, quantum. Okay, of course. And Netflix and all that stuff. I saw it on Moran's show too. Netflix went up like 12% in a day. It's ridiculous. And all of the big caps out there, it's being pumped like crazy. And we all know why. Again, these are collateral, right? They're collateral to Bitcoin to GME short position. Again, my speculation here. And when you see big caps out there gapping up 20%, that's when you should be very worried about it, right? When big cap do that, usually it's a bubble that they're about to burst. And so just be patient, and they want you to chase those, right? So when it gaps up 20% already, it entices people. It's like, oh, it might go higher. Like, okay, well, the minute you buy, they drop it down. So they just pump and dump it. And this AI thing too, it's because Trump has been kind of like announcing, oh, we're going to be the capital AI of the world, or capital crypto of the world. So again, it's only temporarily, you guys. Like I said, unless it is being generated billion and gazillions of dollars in revenue, but that's going to take time, you guys. We don't even have infrastructure for that. So how can you make money, trillions of dollars, without any infrastructure whatsoever? You need to build those in order to make that money possible. You can't just, put the buggy before the horses here and expected the buggy to move. No, you need horses, means of movements. So, and again, this is why GME is set up for that, much more than any of those AI company. Dare I say. People would come back to me and say, well, there's millions of other companies that is much better than GME. Okay, then invest in those. Yeah, go ahead. I mean, don't waste your time listening to, GME investor. If that's what you think it's gonna give you wealth and prosperity, go ahead, invest in those AI company. Right? You see. I feel your sentiment on that. Thanks. Yes. But I built AI for this one. Okay. My own method. Okay, cool. I mean, if you're smart enough to do that, great. That's cool. Yeah. Congratulations. I'm not smart enough to do that, so I need to use my brain on another, or at least observation on the market too, to try to, have some edge in the market. You guys, like, okay, so here's another point too. You have so many reason for people to invest in a security. So whatever that reason is, if you think it's going to yield you, or at least create some edge in the market, that's you. That's perfectly what you should be doing. And if you're influenced by people who are telling you buy, sell, or you're the type of person like, okay, what price is this going to be? Then you already lost, in the game of the stock market already, right? You have to come up with your own conviction, you guys. And that's important because nobody could tell me to sell Gamestop right now, right? Why? Well, because I know the balance sheets already. I know the leadership already. And so when people are telling me sell now or you're going to lose your money, you think I'm going to do that? Of course not, because I have the conviction. Now, on the other hand, when people are telling you or ask you, okay, so what price target? When should I buy? When should I sell? Well, they haven't done the homework. And so when you tell them, it's like, hey, 27 is a good price to buy. And then it goes down to 23. They're like, I thought it's going to do well. Well, when you buy at 27, did you buy it because I tell you, or did you buy it because you did the research on the company? It's like, well, I trust you. It's like, okay, I understand that. I know. But did you not hear me when I said I'm here for the long term? You got to think about that. It's like, no, okay, all right, sorry. Sorry, I'm too optimistic about this company future. Ay. But anyway, so that's, again, it's my rant. It taught me something, right? Because you cannot suggest to people what to buy unless they do the homework already. And so now I'm a bit more a little bit more cautious in my in my personal life to try to get people to buy into something. And again, just do my own thing. And that's probably a little bit better for my own psychology as well. That, you know, when you're frustrated in life, you don't feel like, oh my God, like people lose money because of me. It's like, the whole point is that if these people makes money, they wouldn't give it to me anyway. So when they lose money, they blame me. But when they make money, they say, "Oh, they're the smartest person in the world," right? So that's a psychology of people sometimes. But it's okay, Again, no harm, no foul. People are gonna think the way that they think because of their experience in life, experience in the stock market, and all that stuff. So my point is, if you have an edge, like this gentleman here, I'm assuming you're a man. He's able to code and able to, make an AI model and all that stuff for you to trade and all that. Perfect. If you could do that, generating income for yourself, great, right? But be careful, like when you promote it to people, make sure that they know. Make sure that they know exactly what this coding is coding for. Whether it's going to perform, the best AI model ever to trade in the stock market. And if they trust that with their life savings, if they lose everything using that model, be careful, right? So you might get some flack on that, but as long as you use it for yourself and you learn it to, better yourself in the stock market, great, Because to me, stock market, yes, it's a kind of crummy place to be, but it's also creating a wealth creation that it's a tool, right? It's a tool for people to create wealth in that too. So it's neither good nor bad. It depends on how you use it. Right? So think of it that way. Sorry, you guys. Let me get some coffee. A lot of rant over here. Sorry. I have not make any substantive statement for that's how I feel. Okay, just a tool, exactly. Okay, cool. I've been collecting XRP and other crypto for a while now. XRP has been the easiest, best performing crypto by far. Okay, all right, cool. I mean, I'm careful about that statement, honestly, because again, it's just a proof of concept at the moment. It's still a concept. It hasn't been used in a meaningful way yet, and so when the volume comes in, that's when the tests start to, that's the network. What am I saying? I'm saying when when people are starting to build on the ledger, then you would see the capacity of the XRP ledger. Until then, you won't be able to see it yet. Whether it's going to be the fastest and the best performing in terms of price, sure, but that doesn't really tells you what the network's gonna do on massive, volume coming in. But of course, it's much more scalable than Bitcoin could be. Bitcoin, again, if you kind of crowded the server and all that stuff to try to compete for that one block of transaction, it's going to take some time, right? But it's the most secure, obviously. The best way to secure your network is Bitcoin. XRP, of course, it's remained to be seen, right? Because they have those nodes and all that stuff. Just a bit too technical for me to even think about. But as if for now, the network has been going through some glitches that I heard of, but not, it fixed itself faster. Within a couple minutes, it fixed itself. So again, that's for the coders to determine. For me, I'm not a coder, so I hope that the coders that are working on the XRP ledger are really telling the truth and not try to conceive anyone. So yeah, as far as the decentralization is, that's what we're looking for here, right? We don't want anyone to control the network. That's why Bitcoin is such a hot topic, because again, it's being sold to the public, that it's not controllable. No one entity could control it. Again, because of that proof of work, right? Because if you have way too many people holding on to Bitcoin and all that stuff, right? You could try to compete with, like mine it. You could mine it out of existence, technically, right? Again, 40 more years, then we'll know the effect of Bitcoin. But that's too far. That's too far. I would be old already to even care about Bitcoin at that time. Okay, because I can. To my knowledge, it's GME on whole 3 types of. Okay. Yeah. Loopring. Oh, they still hold those crypto. Did they say that? I need to read more into that. I thought they sold it all, digital asset, when they closed down the NFT marketplace. I know they sold Immutable X for sure, right? For that grand thing. I mean, Loopring is still way cheap, Ethereum also. But Ethereum, it's not as scalable anymore. That's why I think Loopring is a better option, because it's layer 2, but it's still kind of at the mercy of what the Ethereum network could do. I mean, if the Ethereum network goes down, Loopring and our NFT marketplace also going to go down as well. But that's not to say that they couldn't build something on the XRP ledger as well. And again, Ryan Cohen's going to hire the right person, putting the right person into place if they want to go that route. To take advantage of this crypto boom that is going to ensue because of the deregulation. I don't know. Again, me just speculating, right? Again, there's no hard facts that I could just say, hey, it's going to happen this way. And again, when you invest in something, right, this is a risky asset, obviously, but the reward is going to be higher than any stock could give you. So that's why people love crypto in a sense, because crypto has no kill off switch, or what is it, panic button. Okay, while the stock market has so much like halting and all that stuff, this doesn't have halt button. And so price discovery for these type of token is going to happen. That's why you see, like, anytime there's volume, there's an organic interest here that is happening in the crypto market. Yes, they could still manipulate it based on the volume, but think about it. If BlackRock were to sell their Bitcoin into the market, it's going to come crashing down, right? But if they want real Bitcoin, they're going to have to go to the chain and buy real Bitcoin. Real. You cannot just pretend to have Bitcoin and then, and say, oh, I owe you, because if Bitcoin goes the other way, you cannot catch it. So they better have the real actual Bitcoin in order to stay solvent, right? So again, that's why I understand Bitcoin to be, or at least the crypto market to be a little bit better than the stock market, because stock market has the liquidity provider, and they do some sort of tactic in order to, scare a retail investor out, dump it the right time, and then buy it back at the right time. They do that on Bitcoin too. I'm not saying they don't, but when they buy it back, it's kind of rolling it back to the actual price discovery, right? See, they must buy it back though. See, when they buy it back, you see this volume kind of coming down. But yeah, it's been kind of flagging up right now too. And then due to the supply shock as well, high demand right now because of Michael Saylor kind of setting the stage for for companies to hold Bitcoin on their balance sheets in order to store their cash. Because again, back then he was explaining about it, right? During the pandemic, he had cash, in his company, and it was zero interest rate at the time. The Fed wouldn't raise any rate because at the time they were like, oh, inflation is going to be transitory, or we're not going to experience that inflation. It's transitory. Meanwhile, Michael Saylor was sitting, $100 million or something like that. And he was like, well, if I keep it in cash, it's going to melt away because interest rate is zero. And so that's when he found Bitcoin. And that's what set up this whole debate about he's the craziest, and all that stuff. But all it is just a solution for him to store his cash at the time. Because again, cash was at zero. I mean, the interest rate was at zero. Now, with GME, we have interest rate at 5%. So technically, 5% is still good. But I bet you anything, if the rate goes back down to zero, right, then Brian Cohen's going to deploy that cash, right, to do something. But yeah, I mean, it's remained to be a debate, right? Bad bot. What is this? Jesus, what do you mean by bad bot? Are these bots? I live in this one, right? I'm sure little. Okay. I have no idea what you said. What? Okay. Should I block this person? Yeah, you guys. Should I hide them? Remove. Okay, there we go. People. Okay. So yeah, I mean, Bitcoin, again, you could kind of argue that the institutions already got into it, and so therefore you shouldn't get into it. I still think there's so much value that is going to come. I mean, a wall of institutional adoptions and all that stuff. It's coming, so I'm not worried about Bitcoin whatsoever. Well, full disclosure, I don't have many Bitcoin. I have a lot more XRP and XLM right now because I'm positioning for a higher percentage of growth here. Again, XRP has been suppressed for a long time. So my logic is that when you suppress something for 7 years on end, there's a pressure that is built up, and built up with the excitement of deregulations and all that stuff is going to send XRP a lot higher. And on top of that, because Ethereum has been kind of down lately because of the idea that the creator was kind of in control. So technically, because they have boards and all that stuff, there was some speculation that it might be controlled by one person, which is the Buterin, right? Vitalik Buterin. So yeah, XRP is the top 3 right now, and I think XRP is gonna exceed Ethereum market cap, and perhaps taking the number 1 too on Bitcoin. I know it's kind of crazy to think at the moment, but with its utility, right? That's what I'm betting on. A joke coin is coming out. PP Seed is doing a meme coin. Of course, right? They're gonna grift over that, and that's the distraction that they want. Retail investor to jump in and lose money on meme coins, so that they could say that, oh, crypto is a scam. And hold on, let me see if I could find. CNBC. Let me see. I'm trying to find a picture. Melania. They show a billboard. So I think Zach Recker has sorry you guys, I promise I have a point to show you. A similarity between the tactic that they use to mislead people. CNBC. Okay, I think he did a video. I wonder if it's on here. Which one? Might be this one. Maybe last. Oh, I think it's this one right here.
All right, folks, it's limitless potential.
So, hold on, you guys. Man, I should have prepared for this. Oh, they're right here. Okay.
So did you know that some of the biggest...
So in this segment here, you will see, again, go to his video and check this out. But this is the deceptive nature of CNBC. And why do I point out CNBC? Well, because they do the same thing with GameStop, right? AMC and all that stuff, kind of like placing you in the wrong light. And even though they're seemingly talking about the news and all that stuff, but They kind of like putting, like psychologically placing meme coins, meme stocks, and then attach it to the best company, which is GME, right? I mean, GME, the same as AMC, right? The same psychological thing here. So what do you see there when you say Trump coin, meme coin, right? Yes, Trump coin is a meme coin. It doesn't have any utility whatsoever. Okay. Has no like economic incentive to use that token for anything. Yes, you could use it as a collectible, right? You could use it as okay, I support Trump. I want Trump to win and all that stuff. But in terms of making money, unless somebody else is willing to buy it higher in a higher price than you won't make any money on that. Only based on how many people would willing to pay, for that coin from you, right? Buy it from you at $100 a coin. So with CNBC showing you he's holding XRP as a meme coin, they're trying to psychologically tell you XRP is a meme coin. It's not. So again, this is what clue me in. Okay, that's what clue me in that XRP is not a meme coin. And so when people go into Trump coin, right, and they lose money, they think that, XRP is the same thing. Bullshit, right? People who hate Donald Trump will not buy XRP because they're like, look, XRP is a meme coin. Well, Trump hold it. Look, right? So that's the psychology of the news media using their weapon, and they do this best to mislead retail investor, and they have people who would go on these type of show, my shows and all that stuff to promote meme coins, Pepe's and all that stuff, right? That doesn't have any economic value or real world use case over here. That XRP is trying to solve. Bitcoin as well, right? Bitcoin has been kind of, again, it's an agreement within, the world over here that it could be used as a store of value. When the largest asset under management CEO is telling you that he's been recommending his investor or his, to his client that 2% worth of your network should go into Bitcoin or these type of asset class, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think it's going to stay at this value? But anyway, and if those those money pouring into meme coin, who do you think buy meme coins? Retail or institution? Retail. Yeah? Because retail wants 100x. And then they don't understand it. It's like, well, why is it not going up? Well, because you late in the game already. Right? I'm guilty of the same thing. I bought into Doge. I profit some. Not much. So I understand, that those meme coins could give you that. But if you're late in the game, you're going to lose everything too. Right? So you just have to be careful. But then to say that because of those meme coin, people lose money, they're going to run their headline. People place their life saving into crypto, and crypto is a scam, right? And so, again, whether XRP is a scam or not, that's up to you to decide. I did my own research already, and I'm convicted in XRP, in Bitcoin too. Yes, eventually I'm going to accumulate more in that, again, for the long term here, just in case, world government keep printing and devalue my dollar. And, in 10 years from now, Bitcoin is going to be a lot higher than it is today. The same way for, the same way for GME as well. Same exact thing. I know GME is going to do well, with this space or not. Whether they're going to go back into NFT marketplace or not, they will still be okay with the PSA right now, and the way that they're partner up with TikTok and all that stuff too, right? To sell more. Dripshop.com is trying to work with them as well. So they have a bright future ahead of time. So I whatever they got into or will get into, it remains to be seen. You just have to look at the balance sheets from now on. Yeah. So don't get too hype about the price action. I don't know what it's going to do tomorrow or Monday. But all I know is just give it some time, right? Because you never know. You never know when it's going to turn around, right? People were caught by surprise over here. It went from 10 to 80, right? Yeah, 81. So, crazy, right? So when people see this, they think it's going to happen all the time and all that stuff. So, and then, they get so bogged down. Why is it going to happen? It's not doing what I did then. Like, crazy. Okay. All right, you guys. I think, oh my God, it's 1 o'clock. No wonder I'm kind of low energy at the moment. Sorry about that. A bit longer rant than usual. But anyway, I'll let you guys go. But yeah, just be careful. Make sure, you get the narrative out of your investment thesis and focus on your own. Okay, come up with your own strategy, your own research, your own analysis, okay, based on the number in front of you. Okay. And again, people see the same number, but they come up with different analysis. So respect that. If you have people who comes in here and say, Jimmy is a terrible company, I guess you have to respect them, right? It's like, well, I disagree. I respect your opinion, but I think you're wrong. Period. Right? You're wrong. So these forecaster over here, look. I mean, look. Why are they not changing anything? Next week we challenge. Oh, okay. I mean, we'll see. Again, they've been very strong in trying to drive the price down. Right, 30. Look at this, right? Because the volume is too low. Whether they're routing it to the dark pool and all that stuff, which is another topic, right? Dark pool. Because people think of dark pool as like, oh, it's legal. So it's like, no, retail order should not go into the dark pool because the dark pool is intended for only large blocks of shares from institution. And so they misrouting the retail, orders. So that's the problem as well, which is okay. I mean, that means that they are artificially lowering the price for GME for people to buy more. So the long-term investor is going to stand to benefit no matter what. Well, I shouldn't say no matter what, but, things could happen too. Like maybe people would grow tired of this company holding it for long term. You never know, right? Maybe all of a sudden people are just like, I'm tired of this, right? So that could happen too. So I'll leave that scope to happen as well. But again, if you do, then okay, you're missing out. I'll buy more, right? It's simple, very simple to me anyway. And so maybe I'll have to wait for another 4 years instead of 2, 3, 4, or another 10 years instead of 5. Until most of the people get convinced otherwise, right? So, yeah, it's a matter of time, right? Currently, I'm willing to say that there are 10,000 people who are investing in this company and believing it in the long term. Why 10,000? Well, Moran's channel, right? So I'm going to use that as a gauge of kind of sentiment of the long-term investor type of people. Or I could go by the DRS share holder. People are DRSing the company, and that's 100,000 people buying into this company, holding it for the long term. Or I could go by, I could go by the volume that is traded every single week over here, or day. That every single day there's only, less than 2% of the float is being traded back and forth. Yeah. So, yeah. So if you go by those metrics, it seems like, okay, there are people who are long-term investing minded more than the short-term minded people. Yeah. I'll let you guys go, you guys. I need to go eat because I'm very hungry right now. So, have a good weekend, and I'll see you when I see you.